And the important innings for Jack McDowell and the White Sox are these first couple of innings. He said, I want to pitch, in his words, the jitter game. Got an outstanding football to put you away with.
Strike 3 called. Devon White was a strikeout victim 127 times this year. 11 straight American League Championship Series games Roberto Alomar has hit safely in. Full count pitch. That's ball 4. Ron Karkovice, the best there is. And there goes Alomar. Broken bat blooper. Cora will get there, and that'll do it for the first inning. The Blue Jays, strand 1, will go to the bottom of the first, scoreless in Chicago. On the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays, Juan Guzman, who has had an outstanding season, 14-3, and he could have had more. He faces Tim Raines. And out towards second, Alomar. To first, out number 1.
Plenty of speed in the Blue Jays outfield as we take a look at Toronto in the field. Ricky Henderson
and triples to his teammate Lance Johnson. Soft pop, short center. Alomar is there for the second out. So quickly, 2 up and 2 gone. And Frank Thomas is on.
That may well be a little insight into what's to come in this series. You mentioned Jack McDowell will not pitch around anyone, and if you're a Toronto Blue Jay pitcher,
that one gets back to the behind the plate. Thomas moves down to second base. Juan Guzman set an American League record with 26 wild pitches. He just tossed another. A ball and a strike to Ventura. There's another one. Thomas will move to third. So Guzman leaves a man stranded at third. We've played 1 complete at Comiskey Park, which is a relief to the outfielders here at Comiskey Park as we start the top of the second inning. And John Olerud swings on the first pitch, lines it left center field. Raines coming on, and will play it on the bounce. There is the first hit of the game. Olerud, the American League batting champion at .363. Here's Paul Molitor. Molitor swings at the first pitch and hits it in the air to right field. Ellis Burks pulls it in. It's out number 1. This appears to be a master plan that started in the clubhouse. 2-2 pitch. Toward third. Ventura to second for 1 to first. Safe. Greg Kosk says Fernandez beat the relay. Credit Fernandez with a fielder's choice. And another 1-2 pitch from McDowell. Line, base hit left field. Fernandez makes the turn and holds at second. Second hit of the inning, second of the game for the Blue Jays. And runners at first and second with 2 out now. And here is Pat Borders. Pat Borders, and all he did was win MVP honors last fall in the World Series. 2-0. Slow chopper, Guillen will go to first with it. And the Blue Jays lead 2. They've stranded 3 on the night. We'll go to the last of the second, scoreless at Comiskey.
Lance Johnson, the center fielder, cover a lot more ground. He's been productive at the plate.
Hit hard, right center field. Devon White on the run over his head. Burks on his way to second and will hold with a leadoff double. Asquith did hit .294 against these Blue Jays during the season, and that gets him on the leg, and he's on base.
say, well, give him a couple pops to swing the bat.
1-0 pitch. Left center field. Ricky Henderson makes the catch. It's a style of baseball that's more common to the Blue Jays.
Like McFarland.
Stanley in New York. 0-1 pitch. And a double play ball towards short. To second for one. The relay. Not in time. Good job by Dan Pasqua. He upset Alomar at second and bouncing the throw into Olerud. Towards second, Alomar. And the Blue Jays escape harm and leave a couple of runners aboard. We've played 2 complete here in Chicago, and we're scoreless. Fortune against the Blue Jays, 1-5 with a huge ERA in his last 7 starts. Down the third base line, Ventura short hops it.
Well, he's already made 2 plays that he looks make.
Is when we come on the air. First pitch scheduled for 8:12. 0-2 to White. Got him swinging. White goes down on strikes for the second time. Second strikeout for McDowell.
Jack McDowell is doing exactly what his club needed.
2-2 pitch. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Jack McDowell. We're scoreless, and we'll return to Comiskey Park after this word from your local station. 2 balls and a strike. Up the middle, Guzman handles it, drops it now, picks it up and throws him out.
At the end of the top of the 3rd inning, Ozzie Guillen quickly retreated into the White Sox.
And Cora is on. Actually, you go anywhere around the major leagues these days, your chances of running into an ex-Padre are pretty good. Cora goes. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks have runners at first and second for Chicago with 1 out, and Robin Ventura coming up. White Sox mounting a threat here against Guzman and the Blue Jays. Little tapper. Guzman will flip to first as the runners advance to second and third. Guzman makes a pretty good pitch. Down the left field line and looks to be drifting out of play. Henderson near the wall, and he made the catch. Came down right next to the wall. Henderson stayed with it and retires the White Sox here in the 3rd. 1-2 pitch to Joe Carter. Reaches, loops it, short center field. Johnson coming on, makes the catch. And what speed in center field by Lance Johnson. As you would expect, fares far better against a right-handed pitcher. And he's on. Singled in the 2nd. He's on with a walk here in the 4th inning. Molitor, first pitch swinging down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Olerud makes the turn and will hold. And Molitor will retreat to first. Raines, a good job of getting the ball into the infield. Olerud took the big turn at second, and now the Blue Jays with runners at first and second and 1 out here. 4th in the league in triples in less than 100 games for Toronto. 3 calls. Fourth strikeout of the night for McDowell. Steps into the box. He swings at the first pitch, down the right field line. Burks back to a warning shot. His glove. This will get Olerud home. Molitor around. He will score. And on his way to third with a 3-base hit is Ed Sprague. 2-0 Blue Jays.
And again, we talk about the explosive Blue Jay lineup on top. It's a guy down at the bottom does the damage.
On the first pitch, Borders down to third. Ventura over to first, but the Blue Jays dent the scoreboard here in the fourth. We'll go to the last of the fourth. Toronto 2. Jason Beret, 23, 24, 22 years old, might be tougher pitching from behind for those youngsters. That's ball four, and pass goes on.
Not like Dave Stewart, who will pitch game 2 for Toronto. It's certainly Fernandez, Alvarez, and Beret are capable. They've proven that. But in this kind of pressure,
down to first, and Overruled has it go through. Nice play by Alomar to track it down, and Pasqua moves up to second. Just a couple of steps in for being even with the bag at third. He gets it down. Guzman to first with Alomar covering. The sacrifice works. Runners move up to second and third. And one out. Base hit right field. We have a tie game. The number 9 spot in the Chicago batting order hit .272 for the season, and that was the highest in the major league. One pitch. Outside, 2-1. Loose ball. Guillen on the way, and is in there. One out. Guillen at second. And we're tied at 2. Up the middle. Base hit. Guillen will score the go-ahead run. 3-2 Chicago.
hitters try to sneak as close a look as they can at the pitcher's stuff.
There goes Raines. Swing and a miss. Throw down is not in time. Raines is in there. That is 17 consecutive stolen bases now for Tim Raines. And Cora is out on strikes.
Dave Stewart's.
Full count pitch and another base on balls. Third time tonight that Frank Thomas has walked.
Guzman shaking his head again.
And pitch, there's a wild pitch. And the runners move up to second and third. Third wild pitch of the night. Charge to Guzman.
In an inning under this kind of stress.
Lying into right, Carter makes the catch. The White Sox bat around, they get 3 and they leave 3. And at the end of 4, it's Chicago 3, Toronto 2. Honors for the American League Championship Series for the Oakland A's against the Toronto Blue Jays. This one nubbed up the first base line. Pasqua will make the play in the tag. One of the many attractions here.
Old Comiskey, Aparicio, Fox, and also Al Smith.
Liner, base hit left field. So Devon White is on base, his first hit of the night. And the 5th of the evening for the Blue Jays.
Have to keep the runner close.
Chopper toward Guillen. Second for 1, and the throw away and into the dugout. Throwing error on Joey Cora, and credit Devon White going in hard at second base. There goes the runner. Chopped toward short. Cut off by Ventura. Throws not in time. And Alomar holds at third. There's a liner into right center field. Lance Johnson on the run. Past him to the wall. The Blue Jays will take the lead. Carter comes around. Olerud into second. And Toronto leads it 4-3. This one down the right field line. Fair ball. Olerud will score. Molitor will hold with a single. And it's 5-3 Blue Jays. The clock hits 3:07. Will be underway. This one hit in the air. Center field. Johnson with room. And makes the catch. But Toronto puts 3 on the board and takes the lead back. We'll go to the last of the 5th. 5-3 Toronto.
Plenty of endurance.
Pasco, the liner, into short center field, and Devon White is there for out number 1.
All right, Lance, let's go, Lance.
Here's Lance Johnson as you take a look from.
Get over that 4 number. That's a magic number in a game for a pitcher and a team.
Lance Johnson is on base with a walk. 7th base on balls given up by Guzman tonight.
Go to that bullpen a little earlier.
1-2 pitch to Karkovic. Chop back to Guzman. He'll go down to second and got the force. Johnson was not running, which
for a shortstop.
Here's Ozzie Guillen with 2 outs now. The runner at first and hit sharply, but right at Alomar at second. Over to first, and that'll do it for Chicago. We've played 5 at Comiskey. Toronto leads it 5-3. $1,000 on that player's behalf to the Special Olympics. Sprague, short liner. Cora can't play it, and it goes into right field. Cora thought he might get to it before it hit, and then it skipped past him. That goes as a base hit. Drops it down. Karkovic down to second, and that's a terrific play by the Chicago catcher.
Tell him the wrong pitch.
3-2 pitch. Toward first. Pasqua traps it to second for 1. To first. Safe. Henderson with the head first slide beat the relay. Short left field. Raines is there. And that'll do it. We'll go to the last of the 6th. 5-3 Blue Jays.
The plays that could have bailed him out of some innings.
Ground ball between first and second, and Raines has his second hit of the night. How do we get here? Well, in the 4th inning, Ed Sprague's 2-run triple get third is playing him tight. There goes Raines. Borders the throw, and he's out. Good job by Pat Borders, and he got a good pitch to handle.
And that got a piece of Tony Fernandez. Boy, that he just injured his thumb on this, but with Frank Thomas coming up, a chance to represent the tying run.
8th base on balls given up by Guzman tonight. And Guzman getting up there now in the numbers. Base hit center field. Cora makes the turn, trips, and goes back. Second hit of the inning. And Ventura goes down swinging for the second time tonight. And a big out in Guzman's book. 2-2 to Burks. Popped in the air. Right center field. Carter makes the call. and Guzman escapes again. The White Sox lead 2 more, and at the end of 6, it's the Blue Jays. Alomar with a drive to center field. Lance Johnson is there. And Alomar still hitless. Carter in the air. Joey Cora close to a second base position for out number 2. We want to remind you that coming up on Sunday, which put the Blue Jays back in front. Into left field, base hit. And an example of John Olerud's hitting ability right there. 3rd hit of the night for Olerud. He is 3 for 3 with a walk. He will forever be a member of the White Sox family. Olerud goes. The pitch is hit high and deep in the left center field. Johnson back to the wall, and it's gone. Paul Molitor, 2-run homer to give the Blue Jays a 7-3 lead. That is the 3rd ALCS home run for Paul Molitor, and gives the Blue Jays a bit of a cushion.
Effort. Uses all the wall and gets above it.
And a grounder up the middle, cut off by Cora. There will be no play. Tony Fernandez, infield hit.
Dave Stewart had said, yes, Carney Lansford was a great teammate. The guys out in Oakland were great players.
Line drive, base hit to center field. Fernandez takes the turn and holds at second. 4 straight hits for Sprague. 4 straight hits in this inning. And here comes Gene Lamont.
And it's more than just the top 6. It's 1 through 9. Reacquired by the White Sox, doing a good job out of the bullpen. This game, it's certainly going to take their loss off the headlines of the sports page tomorrow.
Porter swings and misses. It will indeed. That would be a major shock to the city of Chicago into the game of basketball. Last of the 7th coming up, 7-3 Toronto. Alex Fernandez, who has been the toughest, thrown several wild pitches. I think is fortunate to be sitting in the dugout and in position to win this game. Pasqua bounces down to first. Olerud makes the play unassisted for out number 1. We'll take this opportunity to remind you.
Coaches, who was a World Series hero himself with the Oakland A's back in the 70s.
And Johnson is out on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning.
They all, to a man, talk about the ethic, the work ethic that Molitor is.
The Chicago crowd kind of quiet now. Yeah, even quieter as Karkovice goes down swinging. Cox retires. Chicago in order. We've played 7 with the Blue Jays into charge. 7-3.
Hitter. Get all their pitches in the strike zone. Change speeds.
Henderson on the ground. Guillen at short. 1 down.
You know, Jack McDowell made an interesting statement yesterday when we talked to him, and it'll be since he set the all-time catching record and then was released.
Slow roller. Cora, bare hand throw. Didn't get him. Nice job by Joey Cora, but too much speed from Devon White, and that'll go as an infield hit. Who still needs a base hit to tie Don Baylor's ALCS record hitting streak of 12 games, and he won't get it on this one. Ellis Burks coming on from right field to make the catch.
Again, referring back to Pudge Fisk.
Lined in the left field, base hit. 2nd hit of the night for Carter, and the 15th on the evening for the Blue Jays. Imagine the kind of reaction if Michael were throwing out the first pitch tomorrow rather than tonight. Strike 3 calls. So Radinsky comes in and does the job for Chicago. We go to the last of the 8th. 7-3, Blue Jays in the lead. Lee is ready to take his life in a different direction now. Ian off the glove of Alomar. Makes the turn at second and will, at first rather, and will hold rather than move on to second. And the White Sox trying to jump back into the picture here in the last of the 8th. In the air to left field and no trouble for Ricky Henderson. Guillen tags but won't advance. Double play ball. Fernandez to Alomar to Olerud. And Danny Cox walks off pumped. We've played 8, 7-3 Blue Jays. New Chicago pitcher is Kirk McCaskill. Open the ninth, up the middle. Guillen back a second and won't get Molitor. And there's hit number 4 of the night for Paul Molitor.
As he has about postseason out of the way.
And foul tip held on to by Karkovice. Fernandez says it bounced. And Cito Gaston wants him to get a second opinion. And here comes John Shulock in from second base.
You can see the ball bounce. And I wonder if the question is, did he make contact? And
8 o'clock Eastern time with the first pitch coming your way at 8:12 p.m. Strike 3 call. So after the base hit, McCaskill now gets consecutive strikeouts. Fernandez swinging, Sprague looking. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and third for the Blue Jays. And the chopper towards short. Guillen will go on to first with it, and that'll do it for Toronto in the top of the ninth. White Sox getting their last cuts coming up. They trail by 4. Ever left on base in any postseason game, 24 in a World Series game. That's ball 4. For the 4th time tonight, Frank Thomas is on base with a walk, and he's been on base 5 out of 5 trips to the plate. Ball 4. So Dwayne Ward, in an effort to make this interesting down the stretch, has issued passes to the first 2 hitters he's faced here in the ninth. 1-2 pitch to Burks. Got him swinging. So Burks goes down swinging. That's the first out of the 9th inning. And here is Dan Pasqua. Got him swinging. So Ward has come back after walking the first 2 hitters to get Burks and Pasqua on strikes. And that'll bring up Lance Johnson as the final hope for Chicago tonight. In the air, right center field. Devon White is there, and the Blue Jays have claimed game 1 of the ALCS. A 17-hit attack. Guzman, Cox, and Ward combined to hold the White Sox to 3 runs on 6 hits, and Cito Gaston walks off a winner.